All right, we are live for the 66th episode of the
Let's Go podcast. We banging out podcasts here. We've gone 2 weeks, 3 weeks with no guests, and now we got podcast after podcast, and we got two more good-looking guests here on the pod. Jules by DK presents Yoni Samson back for a second time, and Nate Levi on the podcast. Welcome. Jules by DK might be the most under-talked about team in our HSL basketball league, and as
Most
we're getting
hated,
closer to I don't know,
disrespected.
disrespected. Well, Nate and Bella, you should know on a lot of my posts, Nate always responds a lot of disrespect. So we're talking disrespect tour with the softball rankings. Maybe Jules by DK getting the disrespect tour here. Well, we're gonna get right into it. Dave, why don't you take it away here?
well, Yoni Samson is already well known to the show. We had him on last season before the finals, which we need to do Chazara of. How from are you guys? Are you comfortable with my usage of the term Chazara?
Super from.
I can't.
I don't know about Nate, but yeah.
Super from, baby.
We got to do Chazar the finals, which we never did. And so we had Yoni on before, but Nate is new to the show. So let's talk for a few minutes to Nate, get to know him. How old are you, Nate?
22 years old, David.
Wow, you're
22 years
you're
young.
a kid. 22
I'm a
years young,
baby,
you're
and
a kid.
I look even younger with the buzz cut. I look even younger with the buzz cut.
You don't look that young. I'd say 22 suits you.
Okay,
I
okay.
think. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in San Diego, born and raised.
Really?
That's something you've never heard before?
Do you know
I
that?
actually know somebody from San Diego. Actually, from La Jolla, I think it's
I have
called.
cousins.
I live in La Jolla. What, really?
Oh, David Letterman.
I
He's
don't
like
know him.
16 years older than you. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Do you know the Picuses?
Yeah, of course I know the Picuses. Your cousins with the
Those are
Picuses?
my cousins.
I was in school from like preschool till 8th grade with Rivka Picus.
Ah,
I
very
was in high school with
nice.
Schellenberg.
Sean Barry is in. I think he's still in Israel. if
My
I'm
dad's
mistaken.
very close with Rabbi Picus, so we know the Picuses very
Very
well.
cool. Very cool. The Edelman family represents all over the world and all over America. We got our footprints everywhere.
God
Mitch
bless.
by HSL.
God bless.
So Nate, so you grew up in San Diego and you went to high school in San Diego,
Yep, sky high.
and
Oh,
that's what
shout
it's
out,
called, Sky
shout out, Rabbi Picus.
Yeah, I mean, Rabbi Picus
he's
is
a
Torah high.
principal there?
Rabbi Picus is Torah high. It's
Oh,
the
Torah
fourth
High,
school.
right.
Nice try, Avi.
Sorry.
And then what did
But
you do after high school?
I went to Rashid. It's where I met Yoni.
Oh,
We were roommates.
shout out Rabbi Picus.
Yes. And then
you met Yoni and Rachel, and since you guys are both from the West Coast, you clicked.
From high school, but like we were roommates in Rashid.
yeah, we became friends in Rashid, and then went to YU. Just graduated last semester.
Mazel tov.
Mazel
Yeah.
tov.
Thank
What's
you.
your degree in?
Strategy and entrepreneurship.
Wow, I didn't know you could get a whole degree in that.
Yo,
It's
shout
like,
out your company right now. Shout out your company.
yeah, I mean, listen, it's a pretty
Wait, is he
big.
allowed to shout out his company, Dave? If he's not a sponsor of HSL, what's going on? Yoni,
soon.
what are you doing?
We give
here?
the first one is a freebie.
Hopefully,
fine, go ahead.
hopefully next year we'll sponsor. But yeah, I mean, listen,
What's the
strategy.
company? I'm curious.
It's called Trade My Stuff. So what we do is we're actually creating a marketplace for used bulky products, and we're making transacting these bulky products as seamless as possible. So we have a network of over 2,000 drivers, trained drivers around the country, and they perform the entire white glove delivery service for pickup and delivery. So if you want to buy like a treadmill, for example, on Facebook Marketplace, to get it from, if it's a mile away, to get it from the seller to the buyer is always a hassle. You either have to rent a truck, hire a moving service, the whole disassembly, the lifting. So with every transaction on our marketplace comes free white glove delivery service. So our drivers
You
take
know,
care of everything for you.
Nate, whenever we get rid of a piece of furniture, my wife is like, "Oh, let me sell it on Facebook Marketplace." I'm just like, "No, no."
Exactly.
I'm like,
Exactly.
"You're not going to get somebody to take this crap, even if it's not a crappy dresser, but for them to take it and take it downstairs, I'm like, you're not going to be able to sell for more than $20 because
Exactly.
you're asking people to schlep a 200-pound item. It's a very interesting idea.
So right now
Let me
we're
put
only
it
doing
down
I have one
equipment.
question on the business model, though. It has to be a pricey enough. Your savings between new and used product would have to be enough to then justify a third-party deliverer, right?
Yeah. So I mean, listen, these are expensive pieces of equipment. So right now we're only doing gym equipment. We're gaining liquidity. We're gaining listings for other categories, but we're not going to launch them until we have enough. So Pelotons are our number one product. Peloton treadmills, bikes, and rowers. People just want to get rid of them. They were a fad when they were bought during COVID. People
Yeah.
buy them for $3,000. They sell it to us for $100. Excellent condition.
Oh, they
Yeah.
sell it to you.
So Right now they sell it to us. We're about to launch our marketplace in 2 weeks. It's going to end up being peer-to-peer. Right now I've been working on a Shopify site. But once the marketplace launches, it's peer-to-peer. We just make money off fees. Um, Dispatch the
Yoni,
drivers.
This guy Nate is pretty serious. I mean, I
He's a
saw him
savvy
Sunday.
entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. I saw him Sunday night. He didn't seem. I'm getting a little intimidated.
I like to keep people on their toes.
He's the assassin. He's
I
a
was gonna say
sharpshooting
that 60,
assassin.
that 60 seconds of sales is really had me over there. It's very impressive.
Yeah, how do I
You
invest
got
in
to
Nate?
sponsor next season for us.
We might sponsor. Who knows? We might sponsor.
Nate, not Nate. Yoni, are you using a laptop computer?
Yeah.
I think your mic might be under the computer. You're a little hard to hear. I think if you could put the computer like on a book or something. Yeah, something
that
like
better?
that.
Yeah, I hear you. You're
Yeah.
good.
All right. So Nate, when did you start playing basketball with Yoni?
When I started playing basketball with Yoni, Sean Olive. So about 4 years ago, give or take. We've always been
Fun
the
fact.
kryptonite. We've always been the kryptonite.
Fun
We've always
fact,
been the dynamic duo.
Nate was actually the top 3 Jewish league scorer across America in his senior year. But his competition in San Diego was wasn't the best.
Listen.
Yeah,
We were playing.
what even is there? What even is there in San Diego? What leagues are there in San Diego in high
No,
school?
so it was my high school league. We're not playing Jewish teams. You know what I mean? We're playing kids who are amputees, kids who, how else do you think I averaged 24 points a game in my senior year? Third leading
Got
scorer
it.
across America in Jewish hoops,
Did you
I
play
had
at
to
YU?
Wait, is that actually real?
Yeah, no,
Yoni?
that's a real fact.
It's
He was
online. It's online.
Wait, again, in your senior year, you're the third leading scorer, like, including Yeshiva League and all that stuff. You're the third leading
Including
scorer.
every Jewish school, whether it was Orthodox, Reform, it's all under Jewish
They
Hoops
have a
America.
thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
It's called
Really?
Jewish Hoops America. I didn't even know until someone told me.
Sure.
Actually, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unless your competition was, like you said, amputated. That's pretty. That's a pretty cool stat.
Very cool. Wait. So did you play at YU?
I retired after Reishi, because I was in like a 2-year slump, and I decided I can't give any more to the game. I figured I was trying to give to the game, and I was actually taking away from the game, and it's given me so much that I had to stop playing. And so last season, when I decided to join, it was a big decision for me, and I realized I was still taking. I was not hitting anything, and I was in my bed crying one night. I called Yoni. I told him I can't do it anymore. He said, "Come on, try this out one more time. Try giving back one more time because they've given you so much." And it's working out a little better this season. So
Makes me tear up hearing that story again.
yeah,
Just the memories that we had.
yeah.
I
It's been a long road.
I could listen to Nate talk probably for 24 hours straight, and I'm a super ADHD guy. I could probably sit here and just close my eyes and listen to his voice straight. That's a very soothing voice over there.
Thank you. I
I like
appreciate
that.
it. I'm in a lobby right now, so I don't want to talk too loud, or else I'd probably be screaming right now.
So Nate, you said you were retiring, but you don't miss a three. So what's the what changed?
Did you see me last season? Did you see me last season, Avi?
What changed? I'm asking what changed.
You know those dark
Yeah.
retreats that Aaron Rodgers goes on?
Yes, in the tents.
I basically
Middle
did
of the
that.
night.
I basically did that, but in my closet. I locked the
Do you have a
door.
really but seriously, you have a complicated relationship with basketball?
Super complicated. It's like imagine having a girlfriend or a wife who does everything for you, but you just can't. You might believe this. You just can't satisfy them. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. That was me in basketball. I just couldn't give back everything they were giving me. I couldn't reciprocate. So I had to take some time off
You
for
were the
myself.
wife in the metaphor? Who
I
was
was
the wife?
I was the husband. The wife was cooking for me. She was organizing my closet. She was doing everything.
So what was basketball doing for you? You got to explain this to me.
It was giving me opportunity in life. It was bringing
Really?
me happiness. It was
Mm-hmm.
giving me a reason to wake up in the morning, and I wasn't reciprocating. You ever see the video of KD, the interview a couple weeks ago? He was crying, talking about how much it's given him. So that was me, but I couldn't give back.
Until the 2024 HSL Winter Basketball
Wait. And the
Season.
not giving back was you not performing well?
Not performing at all.
Not
Nate,
performing at
you're
all.
feeding into Dave's psychology business / head right now. You're just giving him all its gold to dive into.
Listen,
No. I'm off the clock. I'm just getting curious about it. I have some other questions, but it might get too personal, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
you can ask
Yoni,
anything. I'm an open book.
you struggle with depression.
Me? No, not at all.
Okay. The
I'm
dark
probably.
closet.
Oh no, that was no that no that was just for meditation. I was happy for
I know
that.
it's just painting a little bit of a picture, but as you can see, I'm not very good at being a psychologist.
Listen, I just look back to the good old days in high school when I was crossing up kids with no legs. You know, it was
when
so much.
somebody is so hard on themselves that they have to give up something they love, that would be an indication of depression. That's what made me ask.
Maybe depression within basketball, within the
Yeah,
game.
that's it. It's
It's
interesting.
possible. It's
So Yoni,
possible.
what do you have to say about Nate's journey within basketball? It sounds very
Yeah,
complicated. It sounds like you guys are BFFs or close to it. So
it's definitely been a journey. Watching him starting in Sean Olive, hyping himself up as the best player in race sheet. To then, he kind of backed it up a little bit. Not the best player in the race sheet, but he was definitely he's pretty good. Sean Olive, beginning Sean Olive, and then I don't know what happened. Second a half of Sean Olive, something took like a downhill, and he just couldn't perform, and it was very sad to watch as a friend. I
We
was one
thought
of
it,
his
we
teammates.
thought it was going to be like a 1 week slump, and then the next week, and the next week, and the next month, and the
It
next
just kept
year.
on falling and falling, and we just didn't know what to do. I would go back to our room. He would be, head first into the pillow, bawling his eyes out,
I had my
just
bottle of
wishing
arak. I was
he
just,
even, sold his basketball sneakers because he just didn't know what to
I
do
didn't even
anymore.
sell them. I gave them away for free.
And
Avi, it's hard to hold on to how much is serious and how much is not
Exactly.
serious.
No, I'm starting to think this whole thing. I'm starting to think this whole thing is a total.
Is a bit. The whole thing's a
No,
The
bit.
no, no,
whole
no,
thing's a
no,
bit.
no,
The
no.
whole
ask
podcast
Yoni
so far,
Bella,
except for the
Yoni Bella,
sales, except for Nate's great sales in the beginning. Everything else is a
No, no,
bit.
no.
ask Yoni
I,
Bella, ask Yoni Miller,
I
ask
will
any
let you
Rishi
know.
guy. They'll tell
I
you the
will
same
let you
thing.
know. This is not a joke. I went on a 2.5 year slump, 3 year slump.
Sure. He actually just broke out of it. I feel like in the first game of the season when he was by himself and he had no one on the team.
I
That's a good point,
swear,
by the way. I
I
forgot about that.
swear, I haven't had a game in the last for this season. I haven't had a game in the last 3 years where I efficiently scored over 15 points.
He used to go to the park after the games. He used to go to the park with his girlfriend to shoot some hoops because
My
his girlfriend
girlfriend
was.
beat me in a game of Around the World.
It's not a
Oh,
joke.
that's right. She was taking shots by before the championship game. If I
She's a
remember
good shooter.
correctly,
She's
right?
a good shooter. She's a good shooter.
She's been helping Nate out.
I mean, listen, I'm really telling you, it's not a bit. I was probably on the worst shooting slump of all time.
Very true.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
I
had a
had
good.
some game. I had some games, but I was not consistent. Like it wasn't consistent at all.
But now he's thriving, and it's awesome to watch.
Nate's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
I appreciate
Maybe the
that. I
best.
So,
appreciate that.
all right. So what happened? So something changed this past fall.
I don't know. I think it really depends on the team that I'm on. I like our team a lot this season. We have a lot of chemistry. There's no egos on the team. Everyone's there, to win. There's a lot of together. It's not like Pollen's team. There's too many egos on that team. So like that's why, they have
Who are
good
the Eagles
players.
on Pollen's team?
Pollen,
Yoni Miller.
Yoni Miller for sure. Jaime, like listen, I don't want to cause any tension, but to have Pollen and Jordan on the same team, like they'll try to act as much as they can, like there's no beef there, like oh, who's the top dog? But like in their heads, it's gonna catch up to them. It's gonna ruin their season eventually, probably when we meet them in the playoffs.
Yeah, we
So
really
wait. So
want to
Jordan.
down.
Sorry, Yoni. What?
I was gonna ask about Jordan, but yeah, go ahead.
Yoni. What did Yoni say?
I said if we face them first round in the playoffs, it's going to be a cakewalk. So we're really hoping after this week's games and next week's games that we really see them on the schedule.
So
Literally
what's the story
walking
with
on
this
cake.
Jordan Appel? I don't even know. I don't even know who he is. But
Well,
I know
Jordan
he was.
Appel played for Samson in the fall, and then left
Mhm.
and went to Caleb in the winter.
By the way, you wanted to know a little bit about the championship. We actually
Yeah.
were up 10-2 to start the game in the championship, and the Link went on a run where they would just drive and get a couple foul shots, and they were slowly coming back into the game, and we just couldn't get a shot up after we went up 10-2, and we couldn't carry on the run. A big piece
Wait.
of
Sorry, you went up 10-2 in the playoffs.
Yeah,
We
in the
we,
championship.
we started
we
off
started
well.
the championship off 10-2 against Link.
I
And
forgot
we were
that.
looking really well. We were playing really well together, and then we started giving them a little freebies, some foul shots. We couldn't hit the shots on the way down in the transition, but we were missing a key factor, and it was Jordan Appel. Jordan Appel was not there for the championship game.
He
He was
thought that getting married and staying healthy for the wedding was more important. So
Yeah.
at that
It's
point, we
really messed up.
realized people think that he was a traitor, that he left. We kicked him out. We didn't want him anymore. If you're not willing to
Yeah.
die on the court to win a championship because you don't want to get injured before your wedding, get out. Get
Wait, who
out.
is that? This is Jordan.
Jordan
This is
Appel,
Jordan
get
Appel.
out.
He
Jordan.
didn't play. He didn't play the championship.
He did not play
No.
the
So he
championship.
didn't play the championship, and then okay. So
We
you
kicked him
claim you
out.
kicked
Yeah,
him
yeah.
out.
We kicked
He'll
him
claim
out.
that he left.
And then
Yoni, I can't hear you so well. I think um I think is your am I the only one having trouble hearing Yoni?
I could hear him.
I can hear him. It's a little muffed, but I can hear him pretty well.
Yeah, it's muffed. But I
Oh,
could hear
okay.
him.
Okay, fine.
Jordan, if
I
you're
think
hearing
yeah,
this, Jordan, if you're hearing this,
we
get
kicked,
Didn't hear
out.
it.
Get
we
out.
kicked
Yeah.
out Jordan, and then he begged Caleb to really like have him on his team. Like Caleb didn't even really want him on his team, but
I'll
he
tell you.
begged
I mean,
Caleb.
listen. I mean, do you
What's his
notice?
version? What's his version of events?
You got to get him on the podcast to find out.
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
got to
That's
get him
true, by
on.
the way. We got it. Which, by the way, for all this talking, under 5'10", Pipe Actor had a pretty easy time with Jules by DK in the regular
That's
season
not true.
matchup.
We were up the whole
What are you
game pretty much.
talking
And then
about?
we gave them the 3 foul shots to start the game.
What are you talking
Then
about?
we went up.
They won by
like
1 point
7.
without the foul
No,
shots.
they won by 5. But
No, without the foul.
we were up.
They were in control most of the second half. They did what they needed to. They did what they wanted to
I
do.
think you should watch that game back because I don't think that's true. I think it was we were in control most of the second half until the last 6 minutes of the game.
Now, let me just say one thing. Do you notice AB Lowe is not on the team this season?
Yeah.
AB Lowe is off the team.
He
Exactly.
was
You want to
kicked
know
off?
why? Because him and Paulin
Why?
couldn't do well together. And I expect the same exact thing to happen with him and Jordan.
We'll see. We could clip that. We'll see what happens. But you should know, by the way, it's very there's a lot of what's the word for it? There's a lot of stories going into the playoffs. A lot of different stuff. There's
I
there's
didn't know about any of this. This is great
This
hot.
is more than just another playoff run for us.
This is a
we're
grudge
going
tour.
for vengeance.
Yeah, and by the way, this is also after who won the regular season matchup last year between you guys?
They won the regular season matchup. We beat them in the playoffs.
We played them twice back-to-back weeks. They beat us both times. Ari Hoffman hit a buzzer beater the first game, and then we lost by like 6 or 7 the second game. But then when it matters, we beat them.
Oh, you guys beat. That's true. It's a good point. They beat them in the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
So I don't know if you guys are gonna. I don't know if you'll match. You actually might match up in the first round. There's a good chance that you guys match up as the 3-6 in the first round potentially.
Listen, I just hope that if we do match up, Miller doesn't pull some stuff that he pulled last game. I don't know if you guys know about it, but I don't know if I should
No,
say.
What happened? Tell us.
Well, listen, I mean, he comes up to me, he goes, "You know what your team name is?" And I said, "Yeah, Jules by DK." He goes, "Yeah, and I'm about to grab your jewels tonight." And I thought that was I thought it was just a form of trash talk. But he literally would be grabbing my jewels throughout the game.
You thought it was trash talk, but then you found out it was foreplay.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wait a second. Was I in a closet for 3 days straight in the dark, or were you in a closet for 3 days straight in the dark?
Shout out Jules by DK, our amazing sponsor. We appreciate it.
He's a great guy. I talked to him a little bit for an anniversary present. He's a great guy.
He's a very nice guy. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's weak.
Yeah,
though.
David Custom. He's amazing.
Weak. Wait, who's David? Who? I'm talking about
no,
Miller?
Jules.
No,
Jules by DK. David Custom was a fantastic.
What's Miller's first name? What's Miller's first name?
Yoni.
Dovey.
Yoni.
Avi, there's so many guys we got to get on the podcast. There's so many stories. So wait, can we go back to last season's championship, Mr. Samson? So you go up 10-2, which I forgot. I was at that. Oh, now I remember. I was rooting hard for you guys. I was screaming my head off. As complicated as Nate's relationship is with basketball is the HSL's relationship with Yisrael Wasser. It's a very similarly complicated relationship. So I was rooting hard for you guys, right? And then things started slipping. And Dom called it pretty early. Dom said they don't have a chance. Yeah, he actually.
Well, I mean, it's easy. It's easy for the ref to call. We don't have a chance when they bet against us. You know, it's pretty simple.
On that note, how do you feel about? Actually, let's finish up the championship talk, and then we'll get into some other stuff. So the game starts slipping away, and how do you come back from that? How do you think you're going to beat this team next time? What changed for you guys besides getting rid of Appel?
Yeah, so I think our team is better than last year. We picked up Noah Mogris. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Mogris.
Mogris. Um,
Magyaros.
and he's a phenomenal player.
He's
I
a really
think,
good
by
player.
the way, I was going to ask Avi who you think your top three most underrated players are, and he's actually on my list as top three most underrated players in the league.
For sure.
Casey Jacoby's on that list. I think.
I think Ben Roche from Royal Adjusters also on that list, by the way. But whatever, we'll get to that a different.
Benarouche is missing the game tonight, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think he's
He's
very underrated.
he's not going to be there. Yeah,
But
he's
Mogi,
a very good
Mogi,
player.
I think is probably one of, if not the most underrated players in this league. He like controls our offense. He fits so well, like a
He's that
glove
guy. He's that guy.
for me, Nate, the rest of the team, for Diner, for Schlacht when he comes back. I think people are forgetting that we haven't played with Schlacht for the past 3 weeks, and we've still been winning these games pretty easily. So
With
I guess my
ease.
concern is this combination of Wasser and Allswang is just
Is
very,
Allswing
very.
playing? Is Allswing playing?
they're
All
very,
swing is we'll be lacing them up tonight to go up against Jonathan Baez. So I assume if he's playing tonight, he'll play in the playoffs.
Oh, well,
very,
Jonathan
very.
Bias might swing at him,
I
from what
think
I've heard.
I think they're
Might
Well,
they're
swing
fine.
at.
they're very very good. Allswing and Wasser, but I don't think they've been taking this season so seriously, and I think
They have not.
it's gonna bite them coming playoff time. Maybe I think they could get the dub. I mean, I don't know. They haven't played in a couple weeks together, so I don't know how that's going to start off because it's very hard to just not play for a couple weeks and then start off and mesh well together. But I could be wrong, and maybe they'll play phenomenal tonight as well, like they always do. But I think even if they lose tonight, they're going to be very good in the playoffs. They're going to be probably the hardest team that if we had to face them, they would probably be the hardest team that we were going to have to face in the playoffs.
It's the only team that we're worried about.
I don't think they've been taking it as seriously as some other teams, and I think come playoff time, they're going to be getting shocked by the rest of the world.
It's so funny.
Which is the team you're worried
Olam Realty really gets no love at all. It's not only for me, by the way. It's from the league. Like the 7-0 Olam Realty, really they really get nothing. It's really crazy.
They're good. I think the reason why I'm not giving them the love that maybe they deserve is I think we played our first game for like in 2 months against Olam with I guess they were missing their center, but with pretty much like a fully healthy team, and we only lost by 3. So I think for us, like coming in to if we do have to face them, I don't know if we're going to have to face them or when we're going to have to face them, but I think they are a beatable team. I think Link's is better than them, and I think that we can beat Link as well. So if I think that we can beat Link pretty easily, then I think we can beat Olam pretty easily as well.
I agree with Yoni.
But I think Olam's amazing. I think they have a great team. They're very physical. They have good shooters. They know how to win games. Obviously, they know how to close out games, and that's hard to do.
Listen, they have their guy. They have their leader.
Yeah, and some teams don't have that ability to close games.
Who's their leader? You mean Benjamin Roberts? What do you mean they have their leader?
Who the heck is Benjamin Roberts?
What does it mean that they have their leader? What do you mean by that?
Oh, Benjamin Roberts. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about a lot, but Benjamin's the vocal leader.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what did you mean? Who did you mean?
He meant a lot. He meant a lot.
They got their 2 leaders. They got the vocal leader. They got their actual physical leader.
Yeah, the team is very well rounded. Their team is very well rounded, but I do think they're beatable. I really do.
Yeah. By the way, a lot on the court. Like you don't mess with him or his players. He gets, he's up in your face. It's a very low key thing because he's a very nice guy off the court, but he's very if he feels you wronged him or your player, he'll come right up to you. We had a little bit of a not an incident, but MS Motors obviously had a very poor season, and they have a player who used to play YU ball on the bench, and obviously he's not used to losing by 40 to 50 points every game.
Who's the player? Can we name drop him?
Yeah, of course. Alon Jakubowicz. He was 6'7", the YU bench, gets a couple dunks a game.
Yeah.
Anyways,
does that team have Daniel Goldfarb?
Yeah.
Are we playing him at all or no?
No.
Nah, unless you guys have the 7th seed in the division this week.
Daniel Goldfarb, if you're hearing this, just know that if we do play, I'm coming for your throat.
Not for his jewels.
Come on now.
Anyway, so they got into a little bit of a thing last game, but Elad's he defends his players. He's up for his players.
Oh, that's good. I saw Caleb defending Jordan when someone on Vlad pushed Jordan, and I respected that a lot.
Yeah,
it's all
that got very chippy, by the way. Was that before you came?
No,
was that before you came?
I was there for the whole second half.
I'll tell you, I had a little inside scoop. It was all PR. Caleb didn't want to defend Jordan. He did it for the camera because he knows that Avi's always recording him. I'm hearing all these things about
His
Caleb's
dad was there.
Caleb's
His dad was
dad being a
there.
legend. I don't know. Like listen, swag. Come on. He was wearing a
You
long
think?
sleeve. He was wearing a long sleeve tee underneath his jersey. How swaggy can you be?
What does swag mean? Avi, I think Avi meant something else with the word swag. I think Avi meant the word
No, I meant
swagger. Wait,
swag. I
wait.
meant swagger.
You meant his
Swagger. Yeah.
clothing? You meant
No, I meant his
swagger.
personality. His personality. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Falling on the floor every single second of the game and crying. That's swag. If that's swag, then I'll never have swag. I'll never have
You were
swag.
right, Yoni. You were right. Nate is a good guest. You were right.
Yeah,
I'm just
That's
being
pretty
honest
funny.
here. I'm
Yeah,
just being
yeah,
honest.
yeah. I got
Jules
you.
by
I
DK
got
is
you.
coming for everyone. We want all the smoke. We want all the
So
The,
is
smoke.
pro- the
there?
one the one issue I have with Jules by DK is I just don't see I don't see a standout star on your team. I don't know if it's enough to carry you guys to the
So that's the
championship.
thing.
Well,
So
Donner, by the way, Donner has been getting snubbed from Player of the Week, dropping 27, 28 a week, and like gets no love at all.
I'll, t-
It's honestly a little bit
I'll
messed
tell you
up.
who Diner is. I'll tell you who Diner is. Diner is not playing style, but the way he's perceived. Diner is Jason Tatum. Okay, like he's known as a really good player in the league, but since he's not there to showboat. He's just there to go and hoop. You know what I
We
mean?
don't stat pad. Our team does not stat pad. We don't care to drop each person's drop 40 points a game. We just want to win. We don't care to
Like
blow teams out. If we win
like
by 5, 10, it doesn't matter to us. It's
Tatum
just a win.
gets disrespect just because he doesn't have the personality of like a superstar. We don't need any personalities on our team. We just want to go out there and hoop. You know what I mean?
Diner has one of the best jump shots, mid-range jump shots in the
It's that
league.
mid range magic. It's that mid
It's
range
money.
magic. It's money.
It's money. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
think our team just meshes really well. We do have the talent to beat anyone, in my opinion. And I think we don't really care to stat pad. We don't have those showboaty plays that other teams might have. But we just get the job done.
You know, one of my proofs to that is that I didn't even realize Avi Schneider was your captain. I thought Yoni was the captain. I don't know
Free
why.
Schneider. Free Schneider, by the way. Free
Free
Schneider.
Schneider, Free Schneider.
What is the free Schneider?
Free Schneider. That's all.
I actually got to go to the dentist. Do we have anything else to cover, Avi? It's a shame we have to dip after just
So,
28 minutes.
Audrey, who's your top three most underrated players in the league besides Pacey Jacoby?
I think Pacey Jacoby's number one, and I think that's by far. I don't even think that's close. Who would I put number two and number three?
I would expect I would expect you to say that. I would expect you to say
Yeah.
that. I could expect you to say that.
What is expect of me?
I could just expect that you would say Pacey Jacoby is one of the top underrated players.
I think he might be the best pure scorer in the league as well.
Is he the guy on Link? Is he the guy on Link?
Yeah, he's the guy in Link.
Oh yeah, then I would
Okay,
definitely
yeah.
expect you to say that if he's on Link. For sure.
Who else is underrated? Who else is very underrated? I don't know if he's underrated, but he doesn't get so much attention. Maybe a little bit of attention. Shimmy David's a very good player on Day 3 Rides to Fly. He doesn't get so much of the hype. He's another one that's probably underrated.
Nate
Well,
Dogg,
right.
you're obviously not afraid of saying what you think and feel. What's your biggest criticism of Commissioner Avi?
I think he's doing a phenomenal job. Honestly, I can't think of anything bad off the top of my head. I mean, he's running like what, 5 different leagues, little kids. Like he's making dreams happen. I remember when I was that kid. Coming from San Diego, no one really was there to, I had to work for my dream. He's
I
making
think
dreams
also,
happen for kids. I
I
love
think
that.
also
Appreciate it.
from,
Thank
from
you.
last year to this year, the progress that the league has made is incredible. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job. I think it's just going to keep on going up and up. I really hope that we have a spring and summer league because
Yeah, a lot of people they were pushing for the spring summer basketball league.
it's a lot of fun. I know baseball takes up a lot of time and it's Hillcrest softball league, but maybe we could switch it to the Hillcrest basketball league because I think just the hype in basketball is a lot greater than the hype in softball. I mean,
I'm a big softball guy, but when you walk into that gym, you feel the testosterone in the air.
You post a couple videos of the baseball league and you're like, okay, like I would never actually like really watch that, but like basketball, I feel like all the baseball guys are like walking the basketball, keeping in the loop.
You're probably right about that.
And I'll tell you why you're right, by the way, Oni. We have probably 60 to 80 guys in our community that are strictly softball guys, and maybe 2 or 3 have left during the winter season. Almost everyone stuck around. I'm nervous to see how many basketball guys.
There's gonna be an exodus.
A mass
I really
exodus.
like that.
hope not.
I really like that playoff hype video you posted. That was good.
The
Appreciate
playoff
it.
hype.
What
Did we
playoff?
post like a playoff hype video, or am I just dreaming? Maybe I
we
dreamt about
posted
it.
a softball preseason hype video,
Oh, never mind.
but it was like it had like the playoff music.
What'd be really cool?
basketball.
What'd be
Yeah.
really cool?
What?
If you guys hired photographers, videographers to make mixtapes for players.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You know,
And Mike
Nate
Dog.
Dogg, when your company, I forgot what it's called,
Trade my
sponsors, that's when
stuff.
we'll
Trade
get
my
there.
stuff. Trade my stuff.
TradeMyStuff.com.
By the way, Avi, you know what you
Yeah.
guys also need to do is, like for like Sarachek, in the Global Women's Tournament, they have like live feeds and you could watch the game. Why don't we live stream every single game?
I would love to.
It's not
it's
that
very hard.
Why is it so hard, Avi?
Because in the hard tour gym, you can there's no angle in there that gets the full game.
Well, if you put it in the corner, you put on like the scoreboard, like the big scoreboard, then you'll get the score and like everyone. You won't get good angles of everything, and you'll still have to do highlights, but you'll still get like the full game.
I listen. I have right here. I got my HSL phone. We still have right here, so I definitely could bring it. We have the tripod. I could bring it for all games. It's just not.
I watched a little bit of the championship game back. It was hard to see the score, but it was cool to just like watch the see what went wrong.
Any painful moments for you, Yoni, watching it?
Yeah, I had a horrible game. I'm going to be honest. So yeah, it was a little painful to watch. But we learn from our mistakes.
The best thing about the playoffs before we go, the best thing about the playoffs is, in my opinion, last year we had 2 or 3 teams that were, we had one team that was really good. We had another couple teams after them that were decent, and the rest weren't there. This year, I think, at least after we get done with our wild card round and our top 8, I would say 7 of those 8 teams could beat each other on any given day.
Which is
okay. Okay. I don't know.
All right, we gotta.
What's that one team that can't beat?
I don't want to say. Go do the math. Look at the teams that'll be in the wild card round.
You guys have have a good chemistry because Yoni's like more diplomatic, and
I love Yoni. He's my brother. He's my brother.
And Nate's coming in
kryptonite.
Coming in hotter.
Kryptonite. Wait, one question.
We have dinners on and off the court.
Yeah.
Well, too bad you didn't win the division. You could have gotten. We don't want the hoodies.
We don't want the hoodies. We don't want the. We want the chip.
Shout out to Ola Realty winning the King Venture hoodies. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be late for my appointment. I'm hopping off, guys.
Why does our division get hoodies and then the other division get like a team dinner? That doesn't make sense. Like honestly,
hoodies. Right, I know hoodies are so much better. They last forever. Team dinner is a one-night thing.
Our team has too much dinner on the court. We don't need another dinner. We have too much dinner on the court. We don't need that.
All right. I'm going to say is Mogi, very underrated. Diner needs a gift card already. Gets snubbed every week. Free Schneider and Jules by DK is going to win this championship.
Nate, any last words before we go?
Any last words before we go? No. Got nothing to say. Nothing.
Okay.
I feel like I've said enough.
Stay tuned, baby. Next week and then playoffs.